opportunity, and this is just my personal opinion as well. I'll go ahead and let you guys know that it is going to be part of the Mag 7. So Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, and Apple are part of the top 5 stocks that I'm going to go over. I'm letting you know right in the beginning. That way, if you don't want to watch this video, feel free to exit out. But if you are looking to view the personal predictions and also where I personally prefer to enter, as well as price predictions in terms of half a year from now and a year from now, I will be going over that for Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, and Apple. I'll also be sharing with you guys the analyst ratings on unusual whales. These are at least what's available to us right now. So the first one is going to be Amazon. I'll go ahead and go one by one, and then we'll switch back and forth into the Webull to look at the chart as well. Okay, so first one is going to be Amazon, with the current price being $212. Keep in mind that today is February 24th. I think right now, while we are below 216, that this is a very good dip opportunity. I would be adding a big position here for Amazon stock. So this is the daily chart. Anything below the 100 EMA on the daily chart, I think is a big dip opportunity. And anything below the 50 EMA, I personally don't mind adding a small position for long term. So since we're at 212, I'm viewing this as a big dip opportunity below the 100 EMA, which is at 215. In terms of half a year from now, so going into summer, I do predict to see 250 being retested. And I think going into the end of the year, I am personally looking for $300 to be tested for Amazon stock. In terms of support, we do have the 200 EMA here at $200 as a major support level. I don't think we break below 200. If anything, I believe right around 205 could be the potential bottom here for Amazon stock. That's where I'm looking to add my biggest position for Amazon. Again, being at 212, I don't mind adding that big position here as well. So let's go ahead and go back into Amazon Unusual Whale. You can see that there are other analysts and firms. Take this with a grain of salt, by the way. Always do your own due diligence, but these are the firms here that you see here for 2025. All of this being from February 7th and then also February 12th. All of them except one, all are a buy rating. Wells Fargo here just has it at 207 for a hold. You can see Loop Capital here at 285 target for a buy. Citigroup here, 273 for a buy. Maxim Group, 280. Barclays here at 265 as a buy. All right, we even have Oppenheimer. I'm taking a look at a Piper Sandler as well. Most of these ranging from 265 all the way up to high 280s and then 290s. Let's go ahead and take a look at Microsoft now, being our second one. With one of the higher ratings, I believe it's 540, 550. And then our most recent one here being 510. Typically, I like to look at the 2025 ratings or the year of ratings. Anything before that might be a little bit outdated. We do have Morgan Stanley here with a $540 price target and a buy recommendation. All of these are buy recommendations except for D.A. Davidson, having it as a hold with a $425 price target. And of course, our latest one here being in January 30th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that are available to us at the moment have it between $425 all the way to a high of $530. That being Morgan Stanley. So let's go ahead and take a look at Microsoft here on Webull. Current price here being $403.99, and it is currently in my biggest dip opportunity. So I think anywhere between 407 to about 383 is a big dip opportunity for me, where I wouldn't mind adding a big position. I said before, below 430, I wouldn't mind adding a small position. And then below 407, that's where I'll look to be adding a bigger position. Personally, I'm looking for, during the first half of this year, for a big retest back up towards 470. And then by the end of this year and possibly towards the beginning of next year, keep an eye out for 520 to be tested for Microsoft. That's my personal prediction. And let's go ahead and go into the next stock. Google here on Unusual Whales with some February updates and price targets from these firms. We have Piper Sandler, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, and then Needham. All of these are going to be buy ratings in February, and it's ranging between right around 208 all the way to a high of about 229. Before February, we had some in January as well of 2025. some of them being a hold for 200 and 210. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the price now. 1 second here. Let's go ahead and check Google. Back here, into Google we go. Current price for Google is $179.30. You can see here Google is also now in my big dip opportunity buy zone. By the way, if you watch any of our previous videos, you'll notice that I have this green box, yellow box, and purple box set up. The green box is where I wouldn't mind adding a big position, and the yellow box is where I wouldn't mind adding a small position. So Google here being down into our green box is now into the price ranges of where I wouldn't mind adding a big position. Okay, so 179. Green box is anywhere below the 100 EMA, and the 100 EMA is at 183. Anything below 183 ranging down into about 167 or 166 is where I wouldn't mind adding a big position for Google stock, and I think that's the complete bottom, in my opinion, is 166. It'd be pretty astonishing to see, I think, below 174, but it could potentially happen, and that's where I wouldn't mind adding a big position into Google. And again, right now, wouldn't mind adding a big position into Google stock as well. This is just speaking dollar cost averaging into long term. During the first half of this year, I do expect to see 200 to be tested again, and then towards the end of the year, personally, I am predicting 220 to be tested for Google stock. And as for the next stock, it's going to be NVIDIA. I also just recently made a video for NVIDIA because we do have earnings here on Wednesday, which I do predict there will be upside movement. This could occur, and when this does occur, it will cause all of the other Mag 7 stocks to be going up as well. I think after Wednesday, we should see a rally in the entire market. So as of now, until then, this is a dip opportunity for the rest of the Mag 7, and that does include NVIDIA as well. But I'll go ahead and go over NVIDIA anyways. So with the current price here being $130.95, I am currently viewing this as a dip opportunity below the 100 EMA. So you can see these color boxes here. There's a lot of volatility, and we did dip down into 113 here pretty recently, which was a big dip opportunity in my opinion. Below 117 is where I'd actually look to buy a bigger position for NVIDIA. And the reason for that is because if we scroll out into the daily chart, we just recently had a big run up here for NVIDIA stock. So I wouldn't really be buying a big position below 100 EMA. Below the 100 EMA, wouldn't mind adding a small position. Okay, so really right now, 130.95. Wouldn't mind adding a small position. I think the risk is pretty high, especially if you're going all in at the moment. I would probably save some cash just in case we dip down to the 200 EMA, because that's actually very possible in my opinion. 121, possibly down to about 112, 110. Those are possible dip ranges for NVIDIA stock. I do think we'll get a curve back up if we go back down towards those levels. But as I mentioned in my previous video for NVIDIA stock, I don't think we're going to go down. I think we should see upside movement, and I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think after earnings, we should see upside movement towards the top side. So NVIDIA here being 130, I think keep an eye out for 142, and then a new all-time high at 153. And then during the first half of this year, I do think we should see 180 being tested, and then possibly by the end of this year, we could keep an eye out for 210 as well for NVIDIA stock. The next stock, and it's going to be the last stock I'm going over, is going to be Apple. Did I go over NVIDIA's price targets already? Let's go ahead and go back real quick. So this is an unusual whales for NVIDIA price targets. Morgan Stanley, Tigris Financial, Center Fitzgerald, Barclays, HSBC, Rosenblatt, and then benchmark here. 190, 220, 185, 175, 200, 220, 152. So a lot of them just ranging between 150 to about 200. Okay, some of them even 220 for a price target for NVIDIA. Again, take this with a grain of salt, and then let's go ahead and move on to Apple here. So Apple, while we're here on unusual whales, let's just go ahead and take a look to, we've got a handful here from January 2025. Many of them being a buy, and actually compared to the rest of these, right, most of these other ones are buys and then 1 or 2 holds, versus Apple actually has a lot of buys and then actually 1 hold and then 3 sell ratings, so 3 recommendations. With our recent ones, we have 275, 260, and 270 as well for a buy rating. And then for the sell ratings, we got it from Barclays and Jefferies, 202, 197. Barclays again down here early mid-January at 183. So you can see that Barclays here is pretty bearish on Apple. But as for the rest, everyone else is pretty bullish. JP Morgan here with 270 price target and recommending it as a buy. So let's go ahead and jump into Apple and see what we have for our chart. So for the chart here, I've had this up for quite a while. We have the green box here ranging from about 220 to about 232 as a big dip opportunity. And as you can see that we did drop down towards these ranges. We did even dip down a little bit further than expected at 219, but it got bought back up pretty quick. And so anything into this green box range below 232 is a big dip opportunity. Anything below 242, I think I wouldn't mind adding a small position. So as of right now, we're at 248. I don't personally feel too comfortable buying at this current price. I would personally prefer it below 240 to be starting a position. However, long term though, I am looking for, let's go ahead and go into the purple box range. A year from today, I do expect to see, I think it was about halfway here, about 300 being tested for Apple, right? That's a year from today. And then going into possibly 2 years from today, I would keep an eye out for 330 to be tested as well, okay? So I do think that we're going to get a pretty big leg up in the meantime from here till 300, and then watch for potentially a pullback and then sideways movement for about possibly going into 2026, and towards the end of 2026, possibly early 2027, watch for a leg up towards 330, all right? If you guys are in any of these Mag 7 stocks, or typically I'd be going over Mag 7, but this is just 5 of the Mag 7, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple. If you are in any of these stocks, feel free to join our Discord. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Hope you found this video helpful, and just know that this is my personal opinion. Don't take this as financial advice. And if you're looking for our live entries and exits, that does include options. You can join our Patreon, which is currently a 50% off discount, as we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.